Hey everyone, this is Jono from Veracity with another video in my video series. This one continuing the analyzing data theme, this time building a time series chart. We'll talk about what that is a little bit as well too. No slides this time, I'm going to go right into a demo, so let me pop up the LRS we've been using. All right, great. So this is the LRS that we've used in the last, 5 or 6 videos. I'm going to go ahead to the analytics platform, and we're going to go into one of the custom dashboards we've been using. This one's called Demo 1 in this case. All right, great. So I've kind of moved the stuff we've worked on with the bar charts and the pie chart's a little bit down on the screen, so we have some room up top here, and I'm going to go ahead and put it into edit mode, and we're going to add another widget. As far as bar charts and pie charts, if you're interested in those, check out the last 2 videos. They show the basics. We're going to, just like the last time, click Build a Chart, and this one, we'll call this one Completions, and Completions over time, and instead of a bar chart, we're going to make this a time series, and it's going to ask us for the value representing time. We're going to use the timestamp. There are 2 kind of built-in time values, date time values in xAPI. Timestamp is set by the content, or can be set by the content. It's optional. And it's supposed to represent when the thing happened, when the user completed the course, when the user answered the question, when the user posted something on a discussion forum, etc. The stored value is sometimes similar to timestamp, but it's set by the LRS and it represents the date and time when it was stored. Those aren't necessarily the same for all kinds of different reasons, but since we really want to look at time for when the events happened, we're going to pick timestamp. And you'll see over on the right-hand side, now we get this little chart. What this is showing us right now is, of all the data, not just completions, of all the data, this is the amount that we've gotten over time. In this case, it's a range from, July-ish to January of 2023. And we can kind of just see the overall amount of activity that we have. Now, what we actually want, though, is completions, not all activity. So just like when we did the bar charts and the pie charts, we can add a where clause, and we're going to say where the verb dot id is completed. And now this is all of our completions over time. I'll go ahead and add this, and we'll make it a little bit bigger and drag it down. There we go. Great, that'll work. So these are our completions over time, and if we change the day to all time, it'll bring it up for all time. Interestingly, depending on the amount of time that you pick, you might get this little zoom in bar. So if you notice there's a peak here, when exactly did that happen? We can zoom into just that particular area and see, that happened on September 12th, for example. So these are great. These look at trends over time. Are scores increasing? Is satisfaction with the course, if you have a survey, is that going up? If you've made some change to the course in response to student satisfaction, has that actually changed anything? So it's great to be able to look at this stuff over time. I'm going to do one more of these, and this is a pretty common use case. So often you want to look at the usage of a particular piece of content, a lesson over time. And the way you could do that, let's just go ahead and add another widget, another chart. This time we'll say, we're going to call it all data science stuff, and you'll see why in a little bit. Just like last time, we're going to change this to a time series chart, and we're going to choose the timestamp value. All right, great. So now we have exactly what we had the last time. What we could do is say, match records where the object, we want to do the object ID is data science 4, for example. And we could name this Data Science 4. And then we could duplicate this series. So duplicate what's on here. It'll add this new series down here. And this time, instead of it being where the object ID is Data Science 4, let's pick, I don't know, Python. We'll call this series Python. So now, if we go ahead and add this one, you can see that this is basically all of the Data Science 4 lesson content and all of the Python content. And you can kind of click these on and off and zoom in like we did on the other one. This is really handy, by the way, if you have a lot of stuff and it's hard to tell what's going on, you can kind of turn on and off particular lines. So here's the thing. Although this is useful, what you have to do in order to use this is you have to know all the IDs of the things that you're looking at. And sometimes what you want to do is just say, hey, show me everything that happened in this course, and not have to go through and find all the IDs. And if those change over time, it becomes kind of like a nightmare to deal with. So what we're going to do instead, this is pretty common. I'm going to remove this series and go back to this one. I'm going to remove this where clause. So now we're kind of just where we were when we started this whole thing. Now what I want to do is I want to say where the context activities parent, the array has an ID, and I have one copied over here. I know this is the ID of a course, and this course contains lessons. So I'm going to put that in there. Okay, great. So now what we're looking at is just the overall activity for anything in the data set that has this data science activity as its parent. It's not the thing that's being interacted with, but it's the parent. Check out, I'll put it in the description. I have a video on context activities parents and why they're important. Here's another reason why they're important. So, okay, you're thinking this is not a big deal. So we're seeing all the activity for this course. That's all right. Well, check this out. We can split this series. So take all the data we have here and split it on something. And now what we're going to split it on, by default, it's object ID, and that's what we want. So what this is showing us is all the activities, all the objects that are part of this course, all of the lessons in this case that are part of the course. Okay, so all I needed was the single ID for the course, and I can get everything that's under it. By the way, if this changes over time and a new lesson is added, I don't have to know the ID for it. It just pops up in this graph. And of course, just like the other ones, you know, you can turn these on and off, and you can, depending on how much time you're looking at, you might be able to zoom in. If you're only looking at a small amount of time, you don't get this zoom in capability because you're already looking at a small amount. But anyway, you get the idea. Time series, great, really powerful. We use them a lot for a lot of different stuff. And I think that we're going to go ahead and call it there because this one's already getting a bit long. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe and click that like button. Thanks for watching and have a good one.